Right, you guys, good morning. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. This goes over here. Okay. Welcome into Thursday. How are you? There's no astrology group meeting today, but I do want to tell you I'm going to be launching a Foundations of Astrology course, Mapping Your Timeline. That is going to be happening in October. I'm going to kick it off with 3 sessions. Looking into 2026, forecast and guide for you. How can you embrace the energies of 2026? So if you want to jump onto that, the link is below. All right, my darlings, what is going on for you? Wow, this card just keeps coming out. Transformation. I'm seeing the shift, knowledge. Okay, I'm taking this. Shift, knowledge, meditate. Sag energy poking through. Lucky. Oh, more Sag energy. Sag and Scorpio energy poking through here. And boy, that certainly feels, that's super interesting. This weekend's Saturday reading, I've already done part of it. The Sag and Scorpio. Did I say Gemini? The Sag and Scorpio readings were definitely connected. So if you are a Scorpio or a Sag dealing with a Scorpio, or vice versa, you might want to take a look at that this weekend. There's something here about needing to know more from spirit. Meditate. Needing to know more from spirit in order for you to transform. Like you're kind of like 80% of the way there, but you're going to need to open yourself up more or go deeper into your practice in order to truly transform. There's something more. Like you don't quite have the whole thing. And September eclipse season is going to be a highly transformational month. So this is kind of a heads up. I'll ask a little bit more about what that information might be, and it might be different for each one of you. Okay. I saw that Earth card there. So there could be something about changes in how the world works, or some awareness of like, this is how I thought the world worked and it doesn't work that way. Now, we also have this lucky and focus, very Sagittarian energy, which I totally love. And so there's whatever you're putting your mind to, I feel like you could manifest really quickly. So consider that a warning and an opportunity. Okay. Ace of Wands. Wow. Death. Wow. Star, King of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. This is a changing of the guard, my friend. You're doing healing that's transforming you, and it's bringing in new career opportunities, new love opportunities. You're really doing some deep work here. I feel like Spirit is like, you go. Awesome. Good for you. Knight of Swords, 5 of Swords. You're seeing, okay, this is a breakthrough. A breakthrough in your healing is showing you who's lying to you and who's not. And it's going to be shocking and surprising who is. Lying seems like a really strong word to me, but this anger about manipulation, this anger about, like, at some point, sometimes you can look at that card and be like, you know, that guy in the foreground who has a 2 of Swords, good for him. He was really able to, like, you know, beat those other 2 guys back. But a lot of time now in this reading, when I'm looking at, it's just like, ew, that guy's gross. Like he's got, isn't like all of this enough for you? When is it going to be enough for you? You're like humiliating these people or doing terrible things to these people. Like, when are you going to stop doing that? And I feel like some of you are going, okay, I get it. Like there's a person in my life who's I've kind of seen as this charismatic person. And I'm like, ew, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to people? You know, we've been honoring narcissism in our society for a really long time. And boy, is it bitten us in the ass. So this is really a time of the changing of the guard of that. There's a complete transparency around a transparency, not just transparency, accountability. Because everyone is now seeing it. There's a aha moment here. Everyone is seeing it. 7 of Pentacles. Four of Swords, Two of Pentacles. It's very waiting kind of energy. There's like and see how this shakes out. There could be some need for healing. Once this thing in your personal life or in the life of the collective is seen, and there's this changing of the guard, there's like a, hey, take a beat, take a breather, okay, and just see what happens. There is going to be accountability here. Two of Cups, Page of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so the Knight of Pentacles, Virgo, okay? We're in Virgo season right now. And there's something about Virgo that says accountability to me. And because Virgo says like what's practical, what's tangible, what's real. I can't make plans on sifting sands. I can't make plans on sifting sands. Sands. And so I need to know. So it could have been very sudden that there's this sense of like, wait a second, I need to make plans. I can't have this kind of like craziness going on. You're going to need to settle on something, and we're going to need to do it now, because Virgo time is like, I need to anchor something in reality. And this is just so much talk and blather and not real, lying, manipulation. Page of Cups. Okay. There has been like a wait and see attitude, but now there's inspiration. Now there's a desire for the next chapter. And so it's like, hey, we got to get real. Okay. Page of Cups, Six of Pentacles. We got to get real about this next chapter. The two Virgo new moons are really bookending eclipse season, but they're also bookending a complete transformational experience in terms of going from something that's completely delusional into something that's completely anchored in reality. Okay. So the Eight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. I only care about what I can see, touch, taste, feel, the senses. Very Virgo. I can't count on fantastical ideas. So there's a lot of me, a very air fire sign person, who loves ideas and loves to spitball and, brainstorm and all of that stuff. But at some point you gotta anchor it in taking action. And the reason this hasn't happened, I think, is because Mars has been in Libra. Mars is going to move into Scorpio this month. And Scorpio takes attendance. Scorpio doesn't trust you to like, well, it'll just be a thing. It'll just happen. I don't know how, but Scorpio's like, and Mars and Scorpio's like, get out of my office. Okay, get out of my office, because I have to be accountable for something. Very Virgo time period. I have to be accountable for this. And Mars says, we're going to do this. Scorpio requires risk. If we're going to do this, we need to take a risk and say, all right, we need to anchor this in something real. So if this is about a relationship, like all of this talk and planning and everything like that, that's all fine, but you're going to need to buy a plane ticket. We're talking about going away together. We're talking about moving in together. Let's go look at a house. Let's plan where we're actually going, and let's buy a plane ticket. Let's do some things like that. And Mars moving into Scorpio goes, yeah, I don't trust you if you don't do those things. So there's a little put your money where your mouth is coming up. All right. Three of Pentacles, the Strength card, Courage, Five of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. If you have the courage to stand up and say that, you're going to win. And that's going to change the meaning of this card. Because you're going to be like, you know what? These are the guys who were kind of blowing smoke and making these fantastical ideas. I'm just going to take my swords. I'm going to go. So it changes the meaning of that, right? Which is why the Hanged Man is here. It's like flip that upside down. If you were angry that someone took advantage of you, then you got to get in there and fight for your, stand up for your position or stand up for the direction you want to go in. Take your swords and get on out. And if this person doesn't come along, not my problem. There's a little anger here. I'm feeling that with Mars moving into Scorpio. Mars is here's Scorpio energy right here, and there's passion right next to it with this Ace of Wands. Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio, and Pluto, when they discovered Pluto, is the higher octave of that. Pluto drags us through the underworld in order to make change. Very scorpionic, death. Okay, so something has to die completely. Like these two things can't exist side by side. The no accountability world and the total accountability world. Those two things don't exist together. So there's something here about healing where we've been and where we're going and building some kind of bridge. What did I write the other day? I'll tell you this in the extended, but something about like, if you have to perform, if you have to twist yourself into a pretzel just to be with somebody or be in alignment with a person who's lying or is not accountable for anything, you're just not building anything. There's nothing tangible. Virgo energy this month is going to say, you got to build something tangible for me to believe in it. And Mars moving into Scorpio goes, yeah. All right. One more thing before, let's see, I'll use this. Now, this feels very weighting. Like I've invested a lot of time and energy, the Seven of Pentacles. The Four of Swords says I'm waiting, but it's also like I'm healing when I'm waiting. It's not that I'm not doing anything. Like there's actual healing taking place in you as you're kind of going through this, like neither here nor there kind of period, like this or that. It could be this or that. And then that real shift this month says, wait a second, it can't be both of those things. Both of those things cannot exist in the same plane. You cannot have no accountability lying and total accountability, transparency. You can't have those two things existing at the same time in the same person or in the same company or in the same relationship, like those two things. So which are we going to choose? All right, which are we going to choose? I feel like we're getting inspired here. Okay, with that Ace of Wands. Four of Wands. Woo! Devil energy, 10 of Cups. There's the Two of Pentacles. That's what this is all about. There's something, okay, so there's something, the reason why we're here is because there's something really compelling about that devil energy, that Capricorn energy. We stay stuck in that because we think that's what love is, or we think that's what is meaningful to us, until we see this 10 of Cups and we go, wait a second, this sucks. Right? So there's a sense of like, okay, both things are going to be shown side by side. Side by side doesn't lie. All right, I'm going to keep going with this reading. Let's go deeper. Let's see what we don't see coming. I still haven't even gotten to this lucky and this this focus kind of card, but I will look at that too. But we're definitely seeing something that is not okay and something's really okay. And we haven't even made those determinations yet, but we're like, this is thing A, this is thing B, and it's going to be really obvious. All right. So let's move into the extended. Link is below if you want to continue on. Pathfinders, let's just keep going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.